show tonight. George Clooney from the new movie Goodnight and Good Luck is here. The host of Monster Garage, Jesse James as well, and a special performance from the Blue Man Group. They're really terrific. Tomorrow night, Rene Russo, and from the hit show Lost, Dominic Monaghan will be here. All right, let's get right to it. My first guest, big-time movie star and all-around good guy. His latest film, which he directed, co-wrote, stars in, is called Goodnight and Good Luck. I'd really recommend it. I thought it was just terrific. Amazing piece of work. It opens tomorrow in selected cities. He's also, look, the cover boy in the very first issue of Men's Vogue magazine. Please welcome George Clooney. Haven't seen you in a while.
I've been hiding.
You have been hiding. Now you.
Hey, guys. Nice group right there.
It is
you, get them, you get them a little toasty before
try to get a little
start
something. Yeah, a little shot.
You guys have been drinking, haven't you?
Shot. Yeah,
I saw you outside. I saw you out there drinking.
Now, you have had an interesting year. Now
that's
tell
yours,
us,
right?
That is mine. Speaking of, apparently somebody's been drinking, that's for sure. Now, tell us what happened. I've heard bits and pieces of this. Let me hear it from you.
I'm confused. What do you mean?
Well, I heard you had some sort of an accident.
I had some problems with my spine, but I'm fine now.
No, but what happened?
I was doing
You're not spineless, right? No, you still have that.
There's some question about that.
No.
I was doing a film where I put on a lot of weight, about 35 pounds. I highly recommend doing that.
Yeah.
In a month, by the way. That's fun to do.
It seems like it would be fun to do, actually.
Actually, it's not fun to do.
No?
No, you know, I went to Italy, and you just eat until you swell up like you know, till you explode.
Like me, yeah. No, you looked at me, you swelled up like you. You were going to go
I didn't say that. I wasn't going to say that. That would have been unkind.
That's true.
But I did swell up,
yeah.
and that was good fun. And I did a stunt and sort of tore some membrane around my back, and so I've had a good fun time with it.
Okay. And what were the first symptoms? When did you know that you were having problems?
When I cried all day.
Really?
No, it's like having an ice cream brain freeze for about 24 hours a day.
Now that seems like it would be really painful.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. It does hurt. Well, there were a lot of things. I had short-term memory loss, and I also had short-term memory loss, which. Okay. It's called teeing up your own shot, right? Okay.
I mean, at what point did you, because most guys, you go, oh, well, I'll walk it off or something. Right. At what point did you realize, wait a minute, this is serious. I've got to go to the doctor.
I can't remember. I think when it wouldn't go away, and I thought I had an aneurysm, and then that was bad. And then, eventually I went into it took them a while to figure it out. I had, spinal fluid leaking out my nose and stuff.
No, wait, that sounds really bad. When anything from your back that comes out your nose can't be good.
Pretty much anything that comes out of you, comes out your nose, is probably not good.
No, okay.
I think. Yeah, so that was a bad thing.
And what did you think it was? I mean, did it...
Well, the normal things that come out of your nose, and then I realized that wasn't the issue, and then they said, no, spinal fluid. And I thought, well, that's bad.
Yeah, well.
And then they fixed me right up, and I've never been better.
Okay, so you're okay. I mean,
yeah, good.
What was the downtime on this?
6 days. Literally, I had surgery, and then there was the tsunami telethon, so I had to go work on that. So I had about 6 days to get well.
I mean, did you have any physical limitations? Things you couldn't? I mean, could you still play basketball?
I had trouble with this hand.
Really? It's just...
No, I can't play basketball right now, but that's okay.
Well, you couldn't play very good anyway,
but
that's it.
I never had a left hand.
Now, I want to ask you about, I know the movie you're doing, it deals with broadcasting, and a lot of folks might know. Your dad was a broadcaster.
He was an anchorman, actually here in this building for about 3 years at KNDC.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sure.
Now, did you want to follow in his footsteps? Is that something?
I tried for very early on, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Did a couple of...
Oh, really?
Then you might remember me. Yeah, I was. I got a very early break and tried to do some television. I only lacked talent. Was the only thing. Other than I had all the drive and good hair and all the
important things.
But I didn't really have the talent for it.
Yeah.
That sort of slowed things down.
I used to do the Bob Braun show in Cincinnati.
Sure, Bob Braun in the 50-50 Club. You guys remember that? Bob Braun.
Yeah, well, that was a great. Yeah. He used to do the live ads right on the air.
Well, he'd be talking to you. He'd go, you know, Jay, have you ever? It's funny because the Downy liquid, and he would pull it up like that and he'd set it back down.
I was doing an interview with him once, and I was telling him about my mom. And he goes, Jay, I bet your mom would have liked Con Wieners. And I said, we're Con Wieners. And I said, what do you mean? You know, Con Wieners, the wiener the world awaited? And I went, where are we? What happened? But I realized he was doing a live ad. I mean, he was just doing an ad. Well, Con Wieners, the wiener the world awaited. Yes, and then that would be the end.
I don't think it's nice what he said about your mother.
No, but it's now, you did PM Magazine as well?
I did a couple of bits on that, for a period of time. Yeah, you're gonna pull something out, aren't you?
No, why?
You're gonna hurt me with this.
You think
I'm gonna say, hey, let's see a clip of the film, and you're gonna pull out something when I was young and stupid, right?
Well, you were young. Actually, we have something from 1981. I guess your dad was quite famous, and they were interviewing you and some other family members.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to. I know what you're going to show.
Okay.
I know what you're going to do to me.
Okay. All right.
Hey, you guys.
You thought you had a brain
like
freeze before.
Just go like this. Don't watch.
And here, this is the one where you look like Fred Savage.
I know.
Here, take a look. Take a look. He's talking about his dad.
People keep coming up to me and saying, isn't it awful, being known as Nick Clooney's son? But I love it. I've met people that, and I wouldn't trade places with anybody. I have a wonderful time. And 5 years from now, they'll go up to my dad and say, aren't you George Clooney's father? So I love it anyway.
Fred Savage, ladies and gentlemen. You and I.
We're like sort of the evolution of Fred Savage, you and I, aren't
that's
we?
Right. That's right. Fred, look.
Fred standing upright.
We'll take a break and we'll talk about the movie right after this. More with George. Welcome back. We're talking with George Clooney. The movie is called Goodnight and Good Luck. Tell people what the film is about. I thought it was just fascinating.
It's about a period of time that wasn't probably one of our highest, one of the higher watermarks in our history. It's about when Joe McCarthy was running rampant and making a lot of accusations about people, and mostly it was about the idea of taking people's civil liberties away. During a period of time when communism was a fear. And there was a guy named Edward R. Murrow who was an anchorman who was, as Cronkite became later, was the most trusted man in America. And he eventually took on McCarthy in a series of 4 episodes of TV, and it changed things. It opened the door for the Army McCarthyarians and just sort of bring an end to them.
You know, the thing I found fascinating, some young people who saw it with me said, who was the guy playing Joe McCarthy?
Yeah, we have Joe McCarthy plays himself in the film. We just used archival footage.
Yeah, it's the real footage of what really happened, but you integrated so well.
Well, yeah, we're going to take out a, for your consideration ad for him to get an Oscar.
Potential Oscar nomination.
Yeah, exactly. Joe McCarthy was riveting as himself.
Well, how do you think TV news has changed since that day?
It's changed a lot. I mean, it's changed a lot. There's, there's still infinitely, I'm not a journalist, I'm a son of a journalist, and I'm always interested in it. I think that there's an awful lot of good news going on out there. I think it's just different now because it's not 3 networks, and so it's not concentrated with the same basic information. So you go to the place that best talks about the issues that you most agree with.
Do you think money has ruined it? Like, to me, money ruins movies. I like small movies that don't cost a lot of money because the people are forced to act or write or direct because they have no other choice.
Right.
They don't have an explosion or a car bomb or something going off. And it seems like the same thing with, in the old days when you had just Walter Cronkite and here's the camera telling you the story, that seemed much more riveting to me.
That's true, but Walter was really responsible. If someone happened to have been Walter Winchell, for instance, and owned that microphone, I think he would have been in a lot more trouble with information. I don't know. These are all the same problems that they had. Murrow talks about it in 1958. The same issues. They're all the same issues. It's always money. Commerce is always a problem with it, with getting real information, and that's sort of what we talk about. We don't have great answers. we just have sort of great debate.
I know you're a big fan of Peter Jennings as well.
Yeah, I love him. I think he was, you know, he was one of the true great anchormen. He asked the tough questions when it wasn't easy to ask him. I was a big fan of his.
Yeah, you know, I did a couple of,
Yeah.
We did a couple of speaking engagements together, and he was very competitive.
Oh,
Yeah. He was really funny, and in person, he really came alive with the stories. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy.
Yeah, he really was something.
Now, have you screened this film for journalists? Have you invited Walter Cronkite?
I brought a picture somewhere. I don't know if they have it or not. I brought we screened it for a bunch of journalists.
We have that picture with it?
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
Now, what's the guy on the right doing in that picture? That's what I want to know. Who's the schmuck on the right?
That's
what I want to know.
pretty distinguished group there.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Tom Brokaw and Walter Cronkite and Brian Williams. And, yeah, that was a fun night. We screened the film for them, and it went over really well. It's exciting because those are the people you most have to impress because they're the ones who'll bust on you.
And some of them were there, like Walter. He lived through it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
Now, your buddy Bill O'Reilly, did he come to the screening?
He did come to the screening. He was there. He said that he recommends the film. He does not recommend me as a human being.
What does that mean?
I don't know, and I can't argue with that. It's a long story over years of fighting. But, yeah.
Now, do you see any parallels between the Joe McCarthy case and news today?
Yeah, I mean, not really, because, you know, we seem to be evolving. You know, we started with witch hunts, and we'd burn all the witches at a stake, and then we had the Senate investigating and indicting people without any sort of evidence and without being able to face your accuser, and now we just sort of have a couple of angry pundits being unkind to people. I think we're evolving slowly in terms of using fear to attack civil liberties.
And it seems like now the mistakes get out there much more quickly. Like I was watching the news last night, and this is what I went to bed with. Lindsay Lohan was speeding. 30 photographers were chasing her.
Right.
They ran her off the road. She hit a truck.
Right.
And then today, very quietly, no, she didn't do anything. She wasn't speeding. A car turned in front of her, and there's nobody following her. But last night, the hysteria, everybody competing, and this was the lead story, not Iraq, not the flood.
Right.
This, this lovely 20-year-old girl had just had a car accident where nobody was injured, and it was the lead story on all the news. This was the film at 11. You know, it was.
The car chases are my favorite.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
We got a car chase. We're going to break into the very important news for a car chase.
Yeah.
And some, you know. And by the way, who runs? Who runs in a car chase anymore? Because you got 15 helicopters.
No, they keep running, and this is my staff when I walk when there's a car chase.
Yeah.
We're all watching the monitor for hours. Right. Then the guy pulls over, stops, gets out, and he goes, What? What did you see? What happened? Now the character you play is Fred Friendly. And again, these are all real people.
Yes, Fred was a real man. He was the producer of this show called See It Now that Ed Murrow did. And it was a news program sort of along the lines of what 60 Minutes has become. And it would investigate shows. And Fred was his partner and was the guy that sort of was the engine that Murrow used to drive things home.
Let's show the picture. There's you. There's the two of you there. Close.
Yeah. That's my best Jew impersonation.
Really?
I did my best.
Well, please send your letters to George Clooney.
I tried to be.
We have a clip. You know what I love, too, and you're very authentic, because everybody's smoking.
That goes over well, doesn't it?
Well, in the film, you run a real cigarette commercial from 1956. It is unbelievable where the guy goes, if you're smoking, it'll calm you down and relax you.
It'll be good for you.
It's the best thing for you. Whew, I feel smarter already. I mean, it's just unbelievable how blatant.
Smoking through the hole in his throat.
Yeah, how blatant it is. Well, let's say, what is this scene we're going to see here?
This is it's a scene that actually happened where the military came in and said, don't go with this story about Milo Radulovich.
Oh, this is a story about a young man who was kicked out of the Air Force because his father was reading a Eastern European newspaper.
Right.
And
then he wasn't allowed to face the he wasn't allowed to open the envelope that the charges were in.
Let's take a look. Okay. Good night, good luck.
We are going with a story that says that the U.S. Air Force tried Milo Radulovich without one shred of evidence and found him guilty of being a security risk without his constitutional
you, who
right.
also have not seen the evidence, are claiming he's not a security risk. Wouldn't you guess that the people who have seen the contents of that envelope might have a better idea of what makes someone a danger to his country? Or do you think it should just be you that decides?
Who are the people? Are they elected? Are they appointed? Do they have an axe to grind? Is it you, sir?
Yeah. Good night and good luck. I highly recommend it. George, thank you, buddy. Great job. Be right back with Jesse James right after this. Host of Monster Garage can be seen Monday nights on the Discovery Channel. Please welcome Jesse James. Good to see you again.
How you doing?
I'm good. You got married since the last time I saw you?
I did.
Did you get married?
Yeah.
Married, of course, Sandra Bullock. Congratulations. You know Sandra, right?
I do. Congratulations.
And the whole thing was a secret, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Not to me.
No, not to you. Was it hard keeping it a secret?
I don't want to talk about that, man.
All right. All right, let me ask you an more important question. What did you drive to the wedding?
Just my truck.
Your truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a little Chevy pre-runner.
Right, okay.
For, like, pre-running down in Baja.
All right, yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, you guys are just talking about, like, paparazzi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if some paparazzi tries to cut me off?
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah.
They're going to get a little surprised.
Now, did you get in a brawl of some kind or something? Well, what happened to the stock car race? I heard about this. Is this...
Oh, well, you know, I raced that figure 8.
Right.
So it's like 800 horsepower NASCARs,
right,
but the track's like an 8 where you cross in the middle. And, I mean, it's so nerve-wracking that, you know, some people just snap. So one guy, he's not that great of a driver. He's okay, but I can never pass him because he weaves, and so I spun him.
Yeah.
And like a lap later, I noticed he's coming the wrong way on the track and like tried to swerve at me a little bit. You know, we're going 100 miles an hour, and I'm like, whoa, is that guy trying to hit me?
Right.
Like 2 laps later, they threw the red flag, so I stopped. You know, stop the race, and blam! The guy like drills me right in the door, like going 60. There's like bumpers inside my car, and then backs up, blam! Does it again.
So this was not an accident.
Yeah, and then I'm like, man, by that time I'm like hot, I'm pissed.
Right.
And he gets out, he jumps on the top of my car, and he's like, F you, Jesse James, and like, you know, and so I pissed, I try to whip my stuff off, and my neck brace gets caught, so I'm halfway out of the car, and my neck, I'm like, and
how's that again? Can you give me that again?
I'm trying, and then I can't get back in to get my stuff off, so I was smart enough, I looked, and I made sure he had his helmet off.
Yeah.
And so I took mine off, and I got out, and the rest I'm not allowed to talk about.
Oh, not allowed to talk about it.
But
did you get hurt?
And my neck was a little bit sore, but,
yeah,
you know, my knuckles.
You didn't have spinal fluid coming out your nose, right?
Yeah. But hey, you know, I mean, if someone rams you with their car, they deserve an ass whipping.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair, you know.
Now let me ask you about, you got the new season coming up.
Yeah.
Now tell me about the milk bomb. I've heard about this thing. I've heard a lot of rumors. Tell me, what is the milk bomb?
Some kid emailed me and said, man, my dad, we grew up with this truck. We got a '59 Chevy milk truck, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Cow milker.
A cow milker.
Yeah, you know, I mean, because it's just, you know, Monster Garage is kind of, I mean, let's face it, it's not like C-SPAN or anything like that.
It's
not. Like, you know.
So you don't feel it's a high-integrity journalistic program? Yeah.
I just kind of do what, I mean, it's,
yeah.
Don't tell anybody, but I could do whatever I want.
Well, that's good.
So we took a '59 Chevy milk truck,
yeah,
and you take a Jersey cow, and it walks right up into the back. Not voluntarily. I mean,
right. Yeah,
it's hard to get them in a truck. And then you hook it up to the milker, it milks it, runs it through a pasteurizer at 164 degrees, it pasteurizes it, runs it through a chiller, and then it has a dripper that drips chocolate in it, and fresh milk comes out the side.
Oh, so you have
So it's like from the cow to drinking chilled chocolate milk in 9 minutes.
Wow, that's great. Wow. Wow, that's pretty good. You can't get any fresher than that.
Yeah, it's like, you know, before I drank it the first time, I'm like, okay, this better work.
Now, did you have any experience with cows? Had you ever been around cows?
I had a cow when I was a kid.
You had a
it
cow
was like
when you were
kind of a pet for a little while, and then my dad butchered it and we ate it.
We ate. Oh, that's good. I guess the law of the jungle.
Like crying.
Crying. Can't have a piece of steak. Now, what is the sauerkraut episode? What is that?
We found a Volkswagen. You know, I was like a total Volkswagen guy when I was a kid because that's all I could afford. You know, and in fact, my first Harley I traded for a Bug. So we found, you know, Bugs are fast. Like street racing in the 80s when I used to street race. I mean, you'd show up with Volkswagens and all these guys with like blown Camaros and stuff, and you just wax them and take their money. So we literally found like a 51 Bug that was halfway underwater down in Texas in the swamp.
That's really early, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and stripped it down and put a 500 horsepower turbo motor in it.
Oh.
It was
get you
nuts.
over the hill.
It's like 500 horsepower and 1,600 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was crazy. I mean, I knew I got out of shape in it a little bit, we're trying to get it into the 9s.
Right.
Do a 9-second quarter-mile pass, you know, like a 140 something, 150. And I almost looped it, but we ran like a 1050 at 145 or something like that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, what do you do when a project doesn't work? You get the whole thing, you go, man, this isn't working.
Well, everybody's seen that footage where I shot that car with the machine gun and stuff like that. And,
oh, okay.
I mean, we have one, literally, I mean, to be honest, we have one, and we did it, I don't want to give away what it was, but it was my idea too, and it totally sucks.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and I just want to kind of blow it up just because, you know, I do some good ones, like the Cow Milker was my idea.
Cow Milker, good.
That was good, but this one just plain sucks, and I just want to blow it up just because I don't think we should go ahead and push through production and make it work and do all that stuff if it sucks.
Right, if it sucks, okay.
So
now, let me ask, tell me about the speed record you're going for. This is kind of cool. This is.
Well, I mean, I'm the last person in the planet that anybody would think would be an environmentalist.
Right.
But I mean, we look at where gas prices and stuff like that are, and you know, everybody's like, "You're Jesse James. You can do anything. You should make a car run on water." So, you know, water converted to hydrogen. We're working on a hydrogen car to break the land speed record.
Oh, cool.
BMW holds it right now at 186, and we're doing one trying to push for about 300. Cool. So literally, we'll go out to the racetrack, convert water to hydrogen, fill the tanks in the car, and try to run 300 miles an hour.
You know what you do? Get a cow-powered one. It's 9 minutes.
No, totally.
Fuel
you know
the cow, chocolate milk, and
Actually, the SS in Germany did that in World War II. They made a methane-powered car.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, Kubel wagons, because they had no gasoline.
That's the next shot. Yeah. Good luck with the record. Jesse James going for the record. Be right back with Blue Man Group right after this. Have you ever seen the... My next guest, an absolutely ecstatic experience, the most inventive theater to come along in ages. This Monday, they'll be opening a new version of their show at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. Please welcome Blue Man Group.
The Supernova Teeth Whitening System makes your teeth whiter than an exploding star.
The first blade pulls the whisker back. The second blade cuts the whisker before it has time to retract.
The third blade vibrates, scaring the whisker and causing it to stick out again, so the fourth blade can cut off even more. Finally, the fifth and sixth blades send sonic messages down the follicle shaft that taunt, mock, and trash talk the root. The Mach 6 razor, your whiskers don't stand a chance.
That's why discerning dogs love the taste of Milky Bone Dog Biscotti. The taste of liver with the kick of caffeine.
Blue Man Group, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Blue Man.